Hi everyone, this is Helena and I'm from Hong Kong and I study MA Creative Writing at Lancaster University. So when I first came here, I'm actually quite surprised because from where I come from, it's quite noisy and crowded. But here, there's so much space, there's so much peace and quietness and nature. And even if it is a small city, there's so much stuff happening while it's not too overwhelming for me. And I was really surprised when I came here for the first time. So Lancaster really made me feel home because I think one of the benefits of living in a small city is that people are more united and they're somehow so-called trained to be, because if you look at all the festivals being held, it's the way they're held is really amazing, that you can find different things, different events happening throughout the town. It makes you feel that everyone can be included in this festival. It's inclusive of everyone from different class, different age, or different race. It doesn't have to exclude a certain group of people. You find it everywhere. For example, music festivals, you see it at the castle, you see it at bars. You don't necessarily have to buy a ticket into it, but anyone can enjoy that, these festivals. And because this is a small town, I get to see my schoolmates often in town. It's just a small town. You see people you know often around there. And even shop owners, they recognize you easily because there's not a lot of people here. And they're very friendly. It's like, oh, say hi, yeah. And then it makes you feel home because it feels like you don't have to meet new strangers every day. You see people you're familiar with the longer you live in this town. And I think that's the main reason why I feel like home when I'm in Lancaster here. In terms of making friends, I find it quite easy to make friends here in Lancaster, as long as you are someone who's adventurous, who's willing to try and test things out, and then give up the thought that everyone knows you here. No one knows you here, and that's why you can know everyone. You can be yourself. You are not judged here. So what I did is just really go full out. When I was here for the welcoming week, I joined so much events, especially international events, as well as checking out the societies. Joining societies does help me to meet a lot more people, especially people who have a similar taste as you or have similar hobbies as you, and just simply know them. It's easier to know them when you're in a society. For example, I was in a theater group because we have to create this production together. When you work on projects together, it's easier for you to develop deeper connections with people. And that's how I, meet a lot of my close friends here right now. And plus, I'm also living on campus. That's why I have flatmates who are I'm luckily very friendly and very welcoming. And we do a lot of activities together. And that's how we develop a closer bond. And that's why, it will be beneficial to live with people, especially on campus. It's just easier for you to make friends there. So I think the main difference between the UK and where I come from is definitely the culture, the working culture here. Here there is definitely work-life balance, which is something that's stressed on constantly by my boss as well as my professors, and they really honored it very well. They are very empathetic and sympathetic with your situations. They're always concerning with your mental health, and when it's overwhelming, you are able to tell them honestly, and they really want you to have a balance between life and work, or schoolwork. And for here, I used to be someone who's really stressful, anxious, because where I come from, you need to be that, and you have to work 24/7 to show how hardworking you are. But it's not necessarily saying that you work effectively. But here, I learned to really have a balance in life, really work hard and play hard, and not work and play at the same time. And I was amazed that even though I'm really chill when I'm resting, I could still finish my task effectively here, and I'm really grateful for that. This is the main difference, I would say. The other would be there are a lot more space. It's so much quieter. When I'm here, and really gave me the time and space to reflect myself, calm myself down, and to help me with my anxious thoughts and stressful mindset I've been trained from where I come from. So yeah, I think that's the main difference. So during my time here in the UK, I think I spent most of my times to test my boundaries and experimenting on new things. Here, I was given loads of opportunities and also encouraged by the people here that I meet here to try things that I never thought of. For example, I was given this internships where I could work with a theater production company as an audio and visual assistant, which is something that I would have never given the chance to test or experiment on if I was in Hong Kong, because my studies, my degree is not related to that, but I was given this opportunity here regardless of what the degree that I was studying. And people here are really encouraging, not just the professors, also the people I've met, my peers. They always encourage me to test things out. I managed to write genres that I never thought of writing, because I thought I was only capable of writing fantasy, fiction, but here I tried non-fiction, I tried personal essays, I've tried writing so-called technical stuff, and still worked and find that I'm capable of doing that and might be good at it even. And I also test things out. For example, I got into photography, which is something I never thought of myself getting into. So I've kind of visited a lot of cities in the UK. I've visited Durham, I've been to Silverdale, which is like around the Lake District. I've been to Morecambe, I've been to Birmingham, Manchester, Edinburgh, London, and all of this I just love. Each place has their uniqueness. I especially love Edinburgh because they have, like, whenever you go as a writer, so many writer-related inspirations. There's so much cafe, so much history. The National Museum of Scotland was so beautiful. There was a place where you have look at the really beautiful sunset. And at Silverdale and also Morecambe, both of them are near the sea, so it's also amazing. Morecambe is definitely somewhere I often go with my classmates when we're like, oh, we want to get out of Lancaster, but we don't want to go too far. Morecambe is the perfect place where we sit at a cafe near the sea, we work there, and then afterwards we go bowling, which is like the best part of the day. And then at Silverdale, I went there while the tide was gone, so I get to walk on a seabed. It was such a huge space that I've never seen. I've never walked on a seabed, so it was such an interesting experience. While in Manchester and Birmingham, I get to visit the galleries, the museums, which I love the most, while visiting hipster places like in Manchester. There's Affleck's. There are also independent bookstores that I really love. So these are things I did in these cities. What I enjoy the most about the UK is definitely its culture. That's also what I came here for, because I write fantasy and there's so much history about like witches, fairies, Celtic history, anything that's like magical, and inspirations are everywhere. Wherever I go, which city I go, there are always like myths, legends, castles, witch related things that I could find there, and there's just so many inspirations for me.